So a very good friend of mine had sent me a link to this, and you could argue there's many examples of that historically that were very successful, were very green when you look at the setup. For example, here's an old photo of Flax Spinning Mill, Nethergate, Kinghorn in Fife. Flax spinning by power was introduced into Scotland in the 1790s. Think about this. And the technique quickly spread through to eastern Scotland. The early mills were all water-powered, think about this, except in Dundee. This was one of the series using the water from Kinghorn Loch. It seems to have acquired a steam engine at some time. This shows the mill from the northbound platform of Kinghorn Station. The three-storied building was the mill, and the buildings in the foreground appear to have been flax warehouses. The super square section chimney to the rear suggests the use of a steam engine by 1967. Now think about this, from 1790s to 1967. Yeah, so the mill was no longer used for spinning, and it has since been demolished. It probably dated from the early 19th century and is likely to have spun yarn for hand-loom weavers. Now, if you were to look, for example, to the Scottish borders, historically, textiles, tweed, whatever else, honestly, the Scottish borders used to be so industrious in ways that, and especially now when you think about modern applications of various technologies, not least of which is quality for the staff. Yeah, even the atmosphere they're breathing in, for example. Because some people could say, but there was a lot of dust and stour and whatever else. But won't blink about buying a T-shirt from, well, name the place, and it's sweatshop labour and none of that. That's pleasant. So where am I going with this? In no small way should we absolutely embrace traditional quality textiles, because actually, if you look at the occultists, many of them absolutely are head to toe in natural fibers, tweeds, things like that. Absolutely, yeah. And we should be looking at that. I mean, very hard wearing material, blah blah blah, can be, especially with the right know-how, can be designed in such ways that you could have a renaissance of these materials in the form of clothing. None of it's rocket science, but remember, it's all been part over, I would argue, a much longer period of time than most people realize. The deindustrialization and the destruction of the West. Your thoughts? And I'll speak to you soon.